Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at the 2 to 5 player game, Bears and the Bees, published by Grandpa Beck Games. Let's go ahead down to the table here. I'm going to give you a general idea how to play the game, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is the Bears and the Bees by Grandpa Beck Games. So basically in the Bears and the Bees, what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle up this giant stack of honeycomb cards, and you're going to make sure you have the queen out. Then you're going to flip over the top card. If it's a honeycomb card, you're going to place it in front of the queen. If it's not, you're going to discard it and keep flipping until you have one that is. Each player is going to get 9 cards to start the game, and you're going to go over 3 rounds. And simply what you're going to do is you're going to be the first player to run out of cards ends the round. Any players with cards left in their hand will score up the points that they have. This will go over 3 rounds, and the person with the least amount of points at the end of the 3rd round wins the game. Now, each of these cards have different points, and I'm just going to go through and find them all for you. But throughout the game, what you're going to be doing is you're going to take and place 1 card on your turn. Now you can get bonus actions on your turn, and I'll show you how you do that. But basically, when you place down cards, you have to place down a card where 2 of the colors match another tile or tiles that are placed out. In the game, you're going to have different types of cards. You're going to have your drone cards, which are these ones, and you're going to have flower cards, which are these ones, and you're going to have your bear cards, which are these ones, and you're going to have your simple bee cards, which are one of these. Now, each of these do something different. Now, the easiest one to deal with is going to be the drone cards. Now, the drone cards here don't do anything, but they have a lot of wild sides. So anytime you see this honey, so like the queen here has a lot of honey around her, these are wild colors. They can be any color you want them to be, and these are specific colors. So at the start of the game, you're going to notice that she has a whole bunch of wild around her, but only honeycombs can be placed around her. So that's the rule for this queen. There is no rule for this guy for placement other than they still have to match the 2 things that, at least 2 of them, but nothing other than honeycombs can be placed against the queen. The bear has to be placed against a honey side, and when the bear is placed against a honey side, the player that played that is allowed to pick a card from their hand and give it to any player they want. The flower card, when it's placed, all other players will have to draw a card. And when the bee is placed, that player that placed the bee will get to pick a player to draw a card. And that's it. So the majority of the game is going to be placing out these little guys here. Now, if you match, so when I went here, I matched 2 sides here. If I would ever place a tile that would match multiple sides, so let's get another red one in here. Darn it. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so for some reason, which this is illegal, but we're not going to deal with it right now. If I place this one here and 3 sides match, then I get to take another action. And I have to take it. So I either need to place another tile on here, or draw a tile from the top of this deck, or discard a tile from my hand and draw 2 cards. Now, if I ever discard the bear that's over there, I have to draw 3 cards instead of just 2. So you don't want to hold on to the bears. Once everyone has run out of cards, the game ends. So you can see where, or the round ends. So you can see where placing tiles that touch 3 or more sides is really important, so you can get rid of your cards faster. At the end of the round, you're going to score up if you have cards left. Any honeycombs are 5 points. Any other card other than the bear is going to be 10 points, and the bear is going to be 15 points. And that's it. Person with the lowest score after 3 rounds wins the game. So that's it in a nutshell how you play the Bears and the Bees. I also just want to mention that you get these really nice play rates for playing the game that you're going to hand out. You can have either side of the table. But let's go ahead back up to the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on the Bears and the Bees. Okay, so the Bears and the Bees is another Grandpa Beck game that I love. This is a great, simple, easy to teach game that is great to play with friends and family, or like at the beginning of a game night or end of the game night or whatever. It's really fun to try to get those different combinations out. There's a lot of strategy in actually playing cards to make it more difficult for other players to get those combos out. So if you can match more than two sides, you get an extra bonus action. So you want to try to make it so that you get the opportunity to get the bonus actions, but they don't. And picking who you have draw cards and when they draw cards and all that is very important in this game. It is a really fun, light, family weight game that I highly, highly recommend. And that's my thoughts on the Bears and the Bees by Grandpa Beck Games. Thank you for watching.